The film begins with Michelle, who wakes up in an underground room, not knowing how she got there. She only remembers having an accident on her way home. She notices her leg is chained to the wall. She tries to break free, but it's useless. She looks around and is startled by the door, which looks like it belongs to a bunker. She wonders why she's there. Soon, she sees her purse with her personal belongings and her phone on the floor, near her. She tries to reach the phone, but it's out of her reach. Then, she has the idea to use a piece of wood to pull her purse, even though the distance is great. With difficulty, she manages to get the phone. Michelle's only desire was to call the police and ask for help, but unfortunately, the phone had no signal. At that moment, she hears the door open, and a man named John enters the room. She feels terrified of him and begs him to take her away from there. However, instead, he starts giving her an IV, showing that he doesn't intend to kill her. Hey! The movie I'm going to summarize is called 10 Cloverfield Lane. It's a drama mixed with science fiction and suspense. It's a very good movie. I recommend watching it. That's why I invite you to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to receive the best recaps. She questions why he imprisoned her there, and he says it was to save her life. This confuses her. Then, Michelle says that someone will look for her and won't rest until they find her to get revenge on him. However, John's response leaves her stunned, as he claims there's no one alive out there to rescue her. This makes her feel even more terrified. He left some objects for her to move around, gave her the key, and left. She freed her leg, and looking at the wood, had a plan. She sharpened the wood's tip like a spear to defend herself. Then, she went to the door and waited for John to attack him and escape, but he didn't come. She thought of a way to lure him back, and an idea occurred to her. She burned a piece of fabric and placed it in the air vent until smoke filled the place. Then, she heard a voice entering the room and prepared to attack, as this was her only chance. When she attacked him, he managed to dodge and injected her with an anesthetic needle. When she came to, she saw the same man in front of her. She asked again why he had imprisoned her, and he said there had been a nuclear explosion outside and the air was contaminated. He said he found her the night before the explosion, after she had the accident, and decided to help her by taking her underground. While they were talking, she heard someone walking outside, and John left the room. This terrified her. She returned to bed, and soon after heard the sound of a car coming from above the room. This startled her, as John had said all people outside were dead. She began to suspect John was lying to her. She found the room door open, then went out and found another person in the closet who was sleeping. She started talking to this person, but John returned and took them to the living room. While exploring the place, she reached the top of the stairs leading to the exit. John let her go up, and she observed the silence outside through the window, where all the farm animals were lifeless. John stated that this was what would happen if they left the shelter. She recognized John's car, all dented, and remembered it was the same one that had hit hers. She suspected John was hiding something important from them. In the living room, she met again the same person she had seen before, called Emmett, who approached her and started talking about John and that he was telling the truth. Emmett told her that when he was going to work, there was an explosion, and he was so scared that he ran to that place. However, she trusted neither Emmett nor John. They were having dinner in a tense atmosphere, as they weren't sure what John wanted from them. Emmett tried to lighten the situation for Michelle, making jokes until John got irritated and told him to shut up, saying he was disrupting him. Michelle saw the keys near her while John was opening more wine. She started acting strangely and talking to Emmett. John became suspicious and thought she was plotting something. He confronted her, threatening her and telling her not to do anything that would displease him. She took advantage of his distraction and grabbed his keys. She returned to the dinner table, trying to act natural so he wouldn't notice anything. But John noticed the keys were missing and that someone had taken them. Michelle hit him with a bottle and ran to the stairs to escape. He chased after her. She reached the exit and started unlocking the doors. John came after her, and she had no choice but to open the last padlock. Luckily, she managed to get through the first door and lock it before John could catch her. She managed to hide in a safe place. She headed to the final door that would lead her out of the bunker, but saw a car arriving from outside, and an injured girl got out of the car. This girl started begging Michelle to let her in to protect her, but Michelle was afraid. She started thinking John's words might be true. The girl tried to open the door, but Michelle went back inside and locked all the doors because she was very scared. What would you do in this situation? Would you let the girl in or not? Write in the comments. She and Emmett started thinking they had been unfair to John, as they thought he had lied to them. After that, they went back to acting normally. The air conditioning stopped working and the room was locked. They asked Michelle to go through the air duct to the room and turn the device back on. She accepted and managed to enter the room through the air duct. She turned the air conditioning back on, but before returning, decided to explore the place, which was new to her. She found a ladder leading to a window that showed the outside. When she opened the window, she was shocked by what she saw. There was a word written in human blood, and the person inside the shelter had been begging for help. She recognized that the person inside was John's daughter, as he had told them a lot about her. She also found the earring with which the girl had written the word help. She ran back to avoid raising John's suspicions, and later revealed to Emmett what she had seen. They thought John might be a dangerous person or have some psychological problems. They decided to escape from there and started making clothes they could wear outside. One day, John ordered them to bring a barrel he had hidden. They placed the barrel in the room and were startled by its size and shape. When John opened the barrel, he said it contained acid that dissolves anything. Suddenly, John grabbed the things Emmett had used to make his escape clothes. John also wanted to know what those things were doing there, and Emmett said he wanted to make a weapon to please Michelle. He started apologizing to John for doing this without telling him. John accepted his apology, but then pulled out his gun and killed him. What happened in front of her left Michelle shocked. John took her back to the room and locked the door to clean up the place. She decided to proceed with the escape plan because she was sure John would kill her too. She arranged the clothes but heard John's voice in the pantry approaching her room. She hid the clothes under the bed and fitted the mask in the ventilation opening. John started talking to her, but when he was almost leaving, a screw came loose from the air duct. Moreover, he noticed the clothes and understood what they were planning. She ran out of the room, closed the door, and found the keys. John managed to escape from the room, and she ran to the place where Emmett was killed. She escaped from John and ran outside the room. On the way, she knocked over a barrel of acid on the floor, burning John. She grabbed her clothes and crawled into the air duct. She remembered the window she had seen before and headed towards it. She forced the window, but it was very stuck. The acid caused smoke and an electrical short in the shelter, filling the place with smoke. She finally managed to break the window and escaped. She was scared of the contaminated air, but soon saw that there were living birds. This made her understand that there hadn't been a nuclear explosion or pollution, and that John had been lying to them. Later, she spotted a strange creature approaching her, but hid until the creature left. She went to a house nearby, but suddenly a strange vehicle arrived and released poisonous gas. She put on the mask, got in the car, and left, saving herself. So that's it. Comment what rating you would give this movie. Until the next recap.